coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Boom! Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. We out here, 33 years of prison stories. Yeah, y'all gotta ignore the barking. As y'all can see, I'm outside, next door neighbor's dog, Charlotte. She hates me. Quite sure she'll rip my head off if I allow her to. But you know, they're on the other side of the fence. They have gotten over here sometime, but you know, fortunately, I wasn't out here when they did get over here in this yard. I have informed the neighbors if he come over here or she come over here and try to get at me, keep the Bethlehem on me and they will not be coming back. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that don't happen. But you know, as long as they see me, they probably gonna bark. But we got to get this job done. So we out here. Boom, 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 boom. Today, man, I wanted to talk to y'all about a story that just came in my mind that I think is real relevant. It's a teaching moment, you know. But it's like, you know, don't confuse Meek with weak, man. That's a big mistake. You understand me? And when I think of an example about that, I think about dude I met in there when I was at Nottoway, you know, what, 5 or 6 years I was at Nottoway before I made parole, where I eventually made parole from. But I think about this dude I met named Jeff, man. And Jeff was real unique because of the simple fact that Jeff, soon as I seen him, Jeff reminded me of all my uncles, man. He looked like all of my uncles, man. Jeff is short, stocky build, dark skin, he had the glass, man. He looked just like my uncle, man. I got an uncle named Norman. Man, they can go for brothers, you know what I'm saying? So when I seen him, I immediately thought about my uncle, man. But Jeff a cool dude, man. He quiet, he humble, he a nice dude. He ain't got that larceny, that flammery or nothing in him. And surprisingly enough, when you can't judge a book by its cover, Jeff was a hustler, man. Jeff was a dope boy on the street, man, getting that money, man. You know, out here in Virginia in one of them little off-brand name cities or counties, or I can't think of what the name of it was, but I remember hearing where he was from, and I don't really recall hearing that name before out here in Virginia, but that's where he was from. But he was, you know, that's what some of them dope boys do. They lay up in them little small towns and get that money and stay up under the radar, you know what I'm saying? And that's what he was doing, man. He was getting it and getting it and getting it until he got caught, you know what I'm saying? So they laced him up, you know, locked him up, you know, took a lot of stuff from him, locked him up, but, you know, he still had good money. He still had a lot of good money saved up. I guess he, you know, was wise with his money. He still had his wife, where his wife came to see him every visiting day. You know, so he come into prison, man. You know, I think he said this was like his second bid. He did like a year or two before, but nothing serious. So it's like his second bid, but his personality, even though he was a dope boy, his personality don't call for the penitentiary. It don't mesh with the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? Because he not aggressive. You know what I'm saying? He look, you know, built and stocky, but he's short. You know what I'm saying? I ain't super tall. He's shorter than me. Jeff might have been like 5'5". You know what I'm saying? But he's stocky, man. See, then we got George Mason out here picking with Charlotte and causing Charlotte to get riled up, right? And George Mason ain't nothing but this big. He ain't, you know, they done got over here before and tore him up though, you know. So that was a bad situation, but I won't hear then neither. But anyway, hopefully y'all can hear me. Charlotte ain't making too much noise. Come on, George, leave him alone. Leave him alone. Well, anyway, yeah. So George, man, I mean, Jeff was he was humble, man. He a humble dude, quiet dude. Like I say, that don't mesh with the penitentiary. Cause in the penitentiary, man, you know, you got to have a certain level of aggressive, a certain level of, you know, go get it to keep dudes from coming and get it, you know. And Jeff didn't possess that. He ain't seen, like, he humble. He don't want no trouble. He don't want no drama. But it's these type of dudes you got to look at sometime, and you got to be able to judge character. You got to be able to judge people, because you can look at somebody and think they humble or they meek, and you can confuse that with weak. You know what I'm saying? He got a certain amount of time to do. He under the new law. He already know that. He got a wife, he got a family, he got a house, he got, all this type of stuff going on for him on the outside. He realized that doing something on this inside could keep him from ever getting back on the outside to what he want to be. So he know that. So he move accordingly, you know what I'm saying? But this is the penitentiary. You will have dudes in there that think that's weak, and they will try to try him. They'll try to test him. He don't miss no store days. He always got money. He always, eating good. He always going to commissary, getting the maximum amount. He ain't asking nobody for nothing, so dudes see that. And then when you get dudes to see that and they don't know you, or they think you weak or you meek or you scared, then the vultures come out. You know what I'm saying? The larceny come out. The flammery, the skullduggery, the tomfoolery. Hey man, let me get this, or hey man, can I buy that? And, woo, woo, woo. And Jeff nice. Jeff might say, okay, dude might ask for a soda and a chip. I ain't got nothing to eat. Jeff might give it to you because he got it. But them larceny dudes will take that as weak. Oh, I can always get something from Jeff. Oh yeah, with Jeff. And then when he say no, or he ain't got it, or he can't stand it right now, then you got an attitude about what he doing with his stuff, like he owe you something. You know what I'm saying? But Jeff used to take all that stuff in stride. You see what I'm saying? So thus created the image that he was kind of scary. You know what I'm saying? And he hung out with two dudes a lot. You know what I'm saying? He hung out with a dude named Carolina. Carolina was a cool dude, man. Carolina was a dude that was locked up. Obviously, he was from Carolina. But Carolina was locked up for drunk driving and vehicular homicide. And what made that situation even worse, that's what he was locked up for. But in the process of that, he lost his arm. So he had his arm cut off from here on down, on his right arm. From the elbow down, his arm was gone. He lost it in an accident. So that's a heck of a price to pay, man, to lose your arm, to take somebody's life in an accident, and to get locked up and got to do time for it. So, that was just, I could just imagine his mind state. And he was a young cat, still in his 20s, So him and Jeff got cool. They hung out a lot. And this other dude named Banks. Banks, not to be confused with Banky, but Banks. Banks was a dude too from, I think he was from one of them little joints, like, he from Virginia too, like up there, like near Charlottesville or something like that. Banks was a cool dude too, old dark-skinned dude, man. I used to always say, funny built dude. You got them dudes got them long arms. He dark-skinned, old funny built dude, but he was cool. Man, Banks is one of them dudes that came in the penitentiary, made a total transformation. He just locked it in his mind one day that he was going to start working out and get in shape, because his pops was old. He one of them cats that had, or pops that had him when he was older. You know what I'm saying? Banks is in his 20s too. His pops was like almost 70-something. You know what I'm saying? So Pops was a rolling stone, you know what I'm saying? So Pops used to come see him, so I used to see him in the visiting room. But Banks had made it up in his mind he was gonna make a transformation, man. I mean, he locked in, he started working out, man. Next thing you know, man, about 6-7 months, Banks had transformed his whole body, man. Now he can't keep his shirt on. He keep his shirt. The police would tell me everything. Go put your shirt on. Go, Banks, put your shirt on. He come out this cell with his little shirt off. He got his little 6-pack booming. You know what I'm saying? He one of them dark-skinned dudes, got full beard. So every couple of days he want me to line his beard up. He done turned into a pretty boy, thinking that all the girls watching him and stuff. I guess he felt proud for his accomplishments. And he got it together, man. He worked out every day. He worked hard for it. He earned it. He deserved it. You know what I'm saying? But that was like the little 3 partnerships right there that they hung together. Jeff got cool with them dudes. Jeff was older than both of them. Jeff probably was in his 40s. You know what I'm saying? And story is told that he was out there on the streets getting that money for a couple of decades. So, boom, he finally got popped. So he had a good little nest egg here with him, you know what I'm saying? But Yeah, so they used to hang together, they used to be together, and like I say, both of them two dudes was Meek too, so I guess that's why their personalities, matched each other. So they hung out, they started working out together. Carolina go out there work out with one arm. Yeah, it's one arm. Got some stories about Carolina too. I done seen them yoke somebody up with that one arm. But yeah, so I remember they moved a dude in the block named Juan, right? Now Juan was just the opposite. Juan was coming from another block, but I spoke about Juan in one of these videos before. Because Juan was a big old menacing looking dude. Bald head, full beard, big. Trap set up like Goldberg. Wasn't that tall neither though, but he was, yeah, he done put some work in. And you could tell once he moved in the block, that's what he about. Working out, drinking, and causing havoc, you know what I'm saying? To those who will allow him to. But that was Juan. But they put Juan in the cell with Jeff. Now that's a mismatch. You see what I'm saying? But you can't pick who you sell with. They gonna sell you with whoever they want to. That's on you. You don't like it, you go to jail or deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So they put them in the cell together. Now, after they in the cell for a little while, man, Jeff, like I say, him being humble and meek and everything, he be like, yeah, I don't really like him, man. He just got too much drama. This, that, and he always asking for something and woo. Because Juan probably was in there doing the same thing. Like, man, let me get this, let me get that. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that Jeff is kind-hearted, but then you go to the point from being kind-hearted where you advantage taking. You taking advantage of his kindness. You see what I'm saying? So he stopped giving him stuff, and then he felt like he was going in there and a few things out of his locker was missing. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't like it. Now he won't scared, but he in prison that would be perceived as being scared. You let somebody take something out your locker, or you think somebody takes something out your locker and you don't do nothing about it. In prison that would be perceived as being scared. You know what I'm saying? When it could be quite the contrary. But in any event, man, that was going on, and then by him coming out, and that's how I say prison is a pipeline, man. Him coming out, talking to his boys about it. They his boys, but, dudes will talk. Dudes might go in the cell and talk to his celly. He went in there and told the celly, yeah, man, Juan in there be sneaking all in man locker and going all in his food and stuff, woo. His celly may be cool with somebody else and tell somebody else and so on and so forth, and there's out there. So now Juan want to confront him, even though they sell it. So Juan want to confront him. Juan confronted him one day in the block like, what you going around telling people I'm in the cell with you? You telling people I'm going to your locker, eating your food and stuff? What you mean? Who you telling it? So Jeff is more like, man, I ain't told nobody nothing. What you talking about? He's like, I'm just letting you know. That's what dude's pulling up on me saying. So what's up? If I'm taking your stuff, do something about it. We in the cell together. We can just go up into the cell right now and lock the door. We ain't got to talk to nobody. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to be out here spreading our business. If you feel like I'm taking something from you, let's go up to the cell and we can take care of that. So Jeff like, man, I ain't got time for that, man. So you got to look at the public perception. The public perception is it look like Juan is screaming on him in front of everybody in the block, which is making him look weak. You understand me? So he telling them, man, we sleep in the cell together. We can do this and do that. So now dudes is figuring like, being that Jeff is trying to play it off and he don't want to go up in the cell, even though he got a lock in the cell, they looking for, even though if he don't go up there when they lock in, they looking to her, boom, 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 boom. They looking to her that they in there rumbling. That don't happen, you know what I'm saying? That don't happen. He end up going in the cell, at lockup time or whatever. They come out, so Jeff position is more or less like, man, I ain't trying to fight the dude, or you know what I'm saying, I ain't scared of him, but I ain't trying to fight him. I ain't trying to run my time up, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get up out here. I know when I'm getting out, woo. But like I say, we're in prison, so in prison everybody's looking at it like, oh, he's scared now. So now, as always, you know what I'm saying, like I say, the wolves come out. Now they want to borrow this from Jeff. Now they want to ask Jeff that, because they know they have no intentions on paying it back. You see what I'm saying? So dudes would see something or grasp a hold of something and think that they done pinned you. They know what you're about. They know, you done removed the fear of that danger. You done removed the fear of, that they can play with you. You know what I'm saying? In their eyes, because they seen you in their eyes get chomped down or get, screamed on. Because usually if that happened in the penitentiary, dude come out there talking loud like that to you or invite you to the cell or, you know what I'm saying? That's your response. Or either, you know what I'm saying? Either or. it ain't no whole lot to that. It ain't no in between. You know, so that's what people look for, because trust and believe me, they always looking. You know what I'm saying? They always looking and they always listening. So, you know, that went on, and then that put that little perception out there about Jeff that he might be a little timid, da-da-da-da-da. People already know he got money. So now, you know, the vultures is out. So Jeff is now like, man, I ain't getting nobody nothing. Don't ask me for nothing. I ain't got nothing for nobody. Don't be like, if you hungry, get it yourself. Woo, woo, woo. So, you know, him and Juan still in the cell. They got this little tension and stuff going on. So now Jeff trying to move. You know what I'm saying? He trying to move and get in the cell with Carolina. Carolina don't really like his cellie, so they keep going through the paperwork, trying to get moved so they can be cellies together. You know, a couple of weeks go by, same thing, they tension. And that's some hard stuff to do, man. I'm going to tell you that right now. To be up in that cell with somebody you don't want to be in there with, and y'all done had words, and y'all got to go in there and lock up for every count 4 times a day, close your eyes and sleep all night, and you don't know what his frame of mind, man, that's hard, man. That's some hard stuff to do right there. I can't do it. I'm telling you, when I get to that point, man, I got to bust a move, because you got to go. Because I'm going to get tired. I'm going to have to sleep. I am human. And I ain't going to feel safe. I'm not going to feel comfortable, you know what I'm saying? But this is the penitentiary, man. These are things that we have to deal with on a daily basis. On a daily basis, we got to deal with that. So, you know, he was dealing with it, going through the motions and trying to get up out there, doing his thing, which also in public perception, it made him look like he was scared, like he was running away from the drama, which in real life, it ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what you should do. Run straight away from larceny. Run straight away from flammery. Run straight away from controversy. Run straight away from violence. It can't get you nothing but in trouble, hurt, or hurting somebody else. But we look at that upon as being weak. We look at that as upon of being, you know, he's scared. Or now we want to, you know, find our way with the larceny in our heart to take advantage of that. How can I come up off of that? How can I get something out of him because he's scared? No, man, you know, that's the wrong perception. You know what I'm saying? But that is the perception. So anyway, you know, like a couple of weeks and stuff went on, and you know, he ended up getting moved out because Carolina's cell ended up leaving. Carolina's cell ended up getting transferred, moved to something. So his cell was wide open. So now they had been putting in requests to move in the cell with him. So now his cell wide open. They pressed the issue, go to the side, go to the side. Jeff get moved, right? Jeff get moved out, get moved in the cell with Carolina. Right, leave Juan to his demons. The next cell Juan get gonna be, it's gonna be their problem, you know, and it was a problem, you know. So now they're in the cell together, everything cool, you know what I'm saying. Jeff doing this thing. Jeff got money, man. Jeff like the only thing Jeff like to do is to get drunk. Jeff will pay to get all the material the dudes need to make the wine and give it to the wine man. Let the dude make the wine. Wine come up. Jeff got automatic wine because he done already paid for it. Him and Carolina get drunk every now and then. Sit out there, fix them up good old meals and eat and talk and laugh and enjoy themselves. You know, and Banks, you know what I'm saying? So they was cool. I liked it all three of them. You know what I'm saying? They was all cool, you know. So, but like I said, this perception there is out there about Jeff because seemingly everybody seen that Juan screamed on him, he ain't do nothing. He moved out of the cell with Juan, so everybody now think he weak. Now, this comes to point in prison, like I say, you will always be tested. And you will always eventually have to put some work in to convince people. You know, and that's a sad but actual fact. You're going to have to put some work in. It's not going to cut it with your mouth. It's not going to cut it with what you say. It's not going to cut it with your logic. You can say, man, I'm trying to go home. They don't care nothing about that. Because they going to look at it as, okay, yeah, that's just you trying to hide the fact you scared. So you're going to eventually have to put some work in to get that respect, you know. But it's a double-edged sword because that work you put in can cost you more time in the penitentiary. That work you put in can cost you your life if it backfires. That work you put in can cost you, you know, a reputation where now you're going to have to defend that reputation, or people going to perceive you another way now. So now they're going to move and act different around you. So it's a lot that comes with that. There's a lot that encompasses all of this stuff that is penitentiary foolishness, you know what I'm saying? But this is the life that we live in, and this is the place that we at. So you going to have to, you know, get with the times, you know what I'm saying? Or the times going to get with you. So I can remember, man, little dudes, you could see it. I could see it clearly. Little dudes now saying little slick stuff to Jeff. Little dudes, getting smart with him when they wanted for, because he was a humble dude, so they can automatically see there's no reason to get smart with him. If you ask for something, if you really ain't had nothing, Jeff gonna give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Because he had it. You know what I'm saying? Dudes, saying little slick stuff to him, like challenging his gangster, this, that, and the third. And I remember they had this light-skinned dude. He had been in the block not long, but he one of them. You know what I'm saying? And when I mean one of them, like, mouth almighty, tongue everlasting, ain't satisfied unless something's happening. Y'all know it if y'all know about Houdini now. I'm aging myself, but yeah, he one of them. Always running his mouth, always in the middle of something, larceny, flammery, skullduggery, tomfoolery. He got all of it, foolishness. So he get to a point where now Jeff and Carolina and Banks and all, they like to play cards. You know what I'm saying? They like to play spades all day and tonk all day. And they do it for money. They tonk for money, but it's small money, but it's money. All money in the penitentiary is good money. There ain't no small money in the penitentiary. But when I say small, they ain't gambling like $5, $10 a hand, all that, $1, $2, something like that. But they'll do that all day long, so that can add up to a lot of losses. You see what I'm saying? So Jeff them out there playing cards, so now this little young dude, he get to playing cards too. Now he always running his mouth. He always saying slick stuff. He always popping off at Jeff. So Jeff done told him a couple of times, watch your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Man, you don't tell me watch my mouth. Who you talking to? You ain't tell Juan watch his mouth. Don't be trying to pop off on me. You ain't pop off on your celly when he ran you out the cell. Scared butt, all of that type talk. Jeff like, okay, all right, I'm just saying, man, I ain't scared of nobody. I ain't scared of, oh, you scared. You scared, ain't nobody gonna run me out no cell. Ain't nobody gonna do none of that. Yeah, so, man, shut up. I ain't trying to hurt. This going on for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Every time Jeff done got to the point, he said, I don't even want to play cards with the dude, man, because he keep running his mouth and, you know what I'm saying, woo, woo, woo. But he eventually, that's what he like to do, play cards. And then they playing rise and fly, which means if you got a partner team and they playing for money, they beat somebody, you got another partner team waiting to play. Rise and fly. Whoever loses, get up and go. Next team sit down. That's rise and fly. So if he on the team that's coming up, he ain't got no choice but to play with him unless he just say, I'm quitting, I ain't playing. But, this is his leisure time. This is how he, do his bit. This is how he get, so he can't rearrange everything he doing just to duck one dude. So he keep playing, but then this dude keep popping up and this dude keep popping off, So I'm laid up in there one night and I'm up in the room watching TV. I done been past all the foolishness. I'm like old head in school. Old head in prison. I just watch TV. You know what I'm saying? Work out, watch TV, fix my food, drink my coffee, mind my business. So I heard a lot of arguing out there one night. And you could tell when you've been in prison a long time, it's a different, than the normal noise where everybody arguing and laughing and about a football game, a basketball game, about cards or a good hand or somebody ran a Boston in spades. The noise. Then the different noise. It's the same noise, but it's a different noise. It's hard to explain. I know it. So when I heard the tone and the different stuff, I get up, come look out the door. I see they down there playing. I see Jeff at the table with old boy, Carolina, Banks standing up. He watching the game or whatever. So they steady going back and forth with each other. I look, I see what the scenario is. Boom, I go back, continue doing what I'm doing. About 5, 10 minutes later, I heard big commotion. I'm talking about boom, boom, boom. All this type of stuff. So something going down. So I get up, I go to the door. When I go to the door, I look out the door. I see somebody trying to get dude up off of the ground. And somebody holding Jeff, telling Jeff, come on. And everybody looking up at the booth because the people in the booth is unaware. So they trying to make sure the people in the booth don't come over and see what's going on. But I look back over at dude, he laying on the ground and dude's trying to get him up. I'm pool of blood around. I mean, a pool is this thing, we got marble floors in there, it's either going to be marble or concrete. These is marble. pool of blood is all around the dude, right? So I'm like, oh, no. So I'm thinking somebody done put that Bethlehem in him, and I'm like, I know that ain't Jeff. I know Jeff ain't did that. You know what I'm saying? But he laying in a pool of blood. They get him up, and they take him to the shower, right? And they trying to get him in the shower, cut the water on to rinse the blood off of him. But as they pull him up and take him to the shower, I see the big pool of blood. So I'm like, oh, man, what's going on about Jeff? You know? So they pulling Jeff to the side, and I see a dude talking to Jeff. Carolina coming upstairs, going to his room. He got to walk by my room to go to his room. So when he coming by my room, I'm like, what's going on, man? So he was like, man, woohoo. He said, man, dude was popping all the Jeff, man. Started talking crazy. Then he said something about Jeff's wife, and Jeff's wife be coming in the visiting room, and he see her in there, woo, woo, woo. And Jeff told him, shut up, don't talk about my wife. And he kept running his mouth, and he stood up, and Jeff stood up, and he said, man, he swung at Jeff, man, and Jeff just went up on him and scooped him up and slammed him on his head, man. I mean, he had him this high over the ground and slammed him down straight on his head, man, bust his head wide open. You know, I said, what? He said, man, bust his head wide. He said, you see that blood? I said, that's where that come from? He said, yeah, he slammed it straight on his head, man, and he said he could have crushed him. He just walked away, and dudes grabbed him and stuff. Said, man, dude just went unconscious. He said, dudes just woke him up, took him in the shower, trying to get the blood up off him. He said, I'm going to my cell. I don't want them people, you know, come up in here and get me. I said, man, what it? Yeah, he pushed him to the limit. He took meekness for weakness. Big mistake. See what I'm saying? What a man do with somebody else ain't got nothing to do with what he might do with you. The reasons a man do what he do, it is only known to him. See what I'm saying? So they thought he was weak because of the whole Juan situation. They thought he was weak because he loaned out food. They thought he was weak because he don't bark loud. He don't do all of that. Nah, that don't mean nothing, bro. Them be the ones that would take you to the upper room. Please believe that. And he found out the hard way. Head split open from here to here. You understand me? Here to here. He ended up having to go over to medical and just make up a story so he wouldn't have to tell on Jeff. You know what I'm saying? He had to make up a story just so he wouldn't have to tell on Jeff because he needed medical attention. You know, this took them cats a minute to get him coherent. You know what I'm saying? To know where he was at. And his head still wouldn't stop bleeding. They got to take the t-shirt off, got the t-shirt up on his head. You know what I'm saying? So now, Jeff trying to talk to him because Jeff scared, because Jeff feel like he going to get a case. He feel like now he going to get some more time. So Jeff trying to talk to him, telling him, look, man, I ain't want to do that to you, man. You came at me, man. You swung at me, man. I'm saying, man, I don't, you know. And dude is just so discombobulated. He like, yeah, it's over, though. You know, but he need help. He need help, and he found out the hard way because he wanted to be a bully. He wanted to go on perception. He wanted to think the man Meek, so he's scared. He's a coward. The man ain't no coward. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no coward, and you found out the hard way. And there's a lot of dudes find that out the hard way. That's why it's always a bad thing to try to vantage tape. That's why it's always a bad thing to try to profile. That's why it's always a bad thing to try to look at somebody and think you know what's going on. But when you do something from a larceny perspective, you can't expect nothing but larceny from it. See what I'm saying? He was doing it from a larceny perspective. He felt like Jeff was a target. Jeff was weak. But you trying to get points off of him. But if you wanted to be a bully, why you ain't bully Warren? You should have bullied Warren. You should have told Warren, oh, you trying to take advantage of a dude that ain't trying to fight. I'm trying to fight. If you a bully. But no, you want to go at Jeff and try to get on Jeff like, oh, you was scared of Warren. Well, you must be scared of him too. You ain't saying nothing to Warren if you ain't like the situation. He found out the hard way, man. He found out the hard way. People found out the hard way. They found out Jeff just ain't no little bitty little stocky dude. Jeff was, yeah, country boy. Yeah, he might not be, but he can, you know, strong as an ox. Strong as an ox. Carolina said he had him up in the air like this. Then the next day, when I end up being out in the park, you know, that's when the gossip meal started. Everybody talking. Man, he said, man, Jeff scooped that man up so fast and slammed him down on his head so hard, man. It was like, boom. He said, man, you ain't heard it. And I heard it. I heard it in the cell. It was like, boom. That made me get up and go look. And I said, that's what that was? He said, yeah. Man, he slammed that man. He said, man, I thought the man was dead, man. He said, and the other dude told me, man, I thought his neck was broke. You know, he said he landed on his head first and his body just like, and just crumbled. I said, good Lord. They said, then you just saw the pool of blood just starting to spread out. See what I'm saying? So Jeff got away though. He got away. He got away. And dude got gone. Cause when he go over there and you split up and you bust up like that, they gonna lock you up. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know what happened to you. They got to secure your, you know, your safety. They claim they be looking at the cameras all the time, but we know, because we've been in there. They do look at the cameras all the time, but the cameras got a certain shelf life on them, and then they stop and it reset and it erase everything. Once no incident was recorded or reported at that time, then they just canceled it. If somebody reports something during the time that the camera is running, then they go back and they can check that whole, okay, somebody said this happened or something, and they go check it. But if it elapsed, that's gone and it start over. You see what I'm saying? This your safety. And this your safety that you got in prison. Yeah, something can happen to you and you can't even, you know, you can't even prove it. You know, the police can do something to you, you can't even prove it. Because they go, oh, where the camera? Yeah, it's a false sense of security. But Jeff got away, dude got gone. Jeff got respect. See what I'm saying? He earned his respect. But he earned his respect in a way that he wasn't trying to. He earned his respect in a way that could have cost him. You know what I'm saying? It's just so fortunate it worked out on his behalf. And me personally, I think it worked out on his behalf because of good karma. He had karma on his side. He didn't have that larceny, that flammery, that skullduggery, that tomfoolery. He didn't have none of that with him. So his karma was clean. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't push that at dude. He defended himself. So his karma was clean. So when your karma clean, man, it works out for you, and it worked out for him, man. But you ain't had to worry about nobody trying to borrow nothing from him no more and won't trying to pay him back. He ain't had to worry about nobody else talking slick to him, you know, because that's all it takes. That's all it takes for somebody to see you, boom, and everybody wondering now, what Juan think? What Juan, you know, Juan, you might have ducked the bullet. You know what I'm saying? You might have ducked the bullet, you know, but Juan, he still walking around like, shh, I don't care nothing about what he did. He ain't do it to me. He wouldn't have did it, you know, but it put something on your brain. It made you think about something, you know what I'm saying? You can believe that. And I always looked at Jeff. I don't look at people the way other people look. I looked at Jeff and knew. See, I use reason and I use common sense. If he was out there being a big drug boy, as a popular belief said he was, he had to have some level of violence to him. It just had to be brought out of, because you can't do that, especially on the street, and get money without getting your money took if you're not willing to protect your money. And they say Jeff was getting that money for decades. So people see him in a different setting and think that, oh, he's sweet, oh, he's scared. Nah, bro. You better use common sense, because that sense that you don't use can cost you your life. And that's what almost happened to old young boy there. And they got to walk around with this big brand new birthmark on his forehead, you know, and lucky he alive. It didn't break his neck. It didn't fracture his skull or anything like that. So, you know, hard lesson, but a lesson that he asked to learn. You see what I'm saying? But just another day in the life in the penitentiary, man, you know. So, you know, it's a blessing in every lesson, as I tell y'all. And the blessing is, man, Jeff, you know, was able to keep a lot of stuff off of him because he is a good dude and he do want to get back to his family. That's his main goal, should be your main goal when you in prison. When you, without your liberty, without your freedom, that should be your main goal. And anything that you have to do to get to that goal is acceptable. So luckily he didn't have to pay a big price for having to do that, because he didn't do nothing to cause that. He just did something to defend himself, his person, you know what I'm saying? So the blessing is, man, that dude ain't get hurt badder than he could have got hurt. He could have lost his life, you know. And the lesson is, man, you don't take meekness for weakness. Do not take meekness for weakness. Do not take kindness for weakness. Some people are just humble because they want to be, not because they have to be, you know. So that was a lesson for a lot of dudes in that pod, man, and they took heed to it. If nothing else, for the moment, they took heed to it, you know, because they look at that and realize that could have been me. You know what I'm saying? That could have been me, you know. So yeah, man, just another day in the life in the penitentiary, man. I just wanted to share that with y'all, as always. But it's a lifelong lesson. It's a lesson that can be applied out here on the street, you know. So use it, use it, and use it wisely. But in the meantime, man, in between time, we be right back at y'all, man, with these stories. I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate all the support. We out here. We rolling 33 years of prison stories. I came out here with the barking dog. I came out here in the cold to drop this video on y'all because of what? Because I love ya. You know I do. TBP is all love, man. Y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, and boom, 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 boom. Duck them hooks, man. They out there. Don't take meekness for weakness. You mess around and get a bang.
Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality. You know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.